claims made by Prince Harry in his book is that he killed 25 Taliban fighters while he served in Afghanistan, but also claimed that he saw them not as people but as chess pieces instead. Well, joining me now to discuss this further is retired British Army officer Colonel Richard Kemp, who commanded the British forces in Afghanistan in 2003. Thanks so much for talking to us, Colonel Kemp. So in Prince Harry's memoir, he talks about his time in Afghanistan and says that he killed 25 Taliban fighters. As former commander of British forces in Afghanistan, how do you feel about those comments?
I think they're probably ill-judged, partly for two reasons, really. One is his suggestion that he killed 25 will have re-incited, I think, those people who wish him harm as a result of his military service. That was 10 years ago now, and the memories might have faded. Well, now they've been resurrected, and there will be people out there who maybe support the Taliban, support their agenda, who will now be motivated, I think, to kill Harry. Well, let's hope they don't succeed, and I'm sure he's got pretty good security, but that's one problem. The other problem I found with his comments was that he characterised the British Army basically as having trained him and other soldiers to see his enemy as less than human, just as chess pieces on a board to be swiped off, which is not the case. It's the opposite of the case. The British Army is very careful to ensure that its soldiers are trained to respect their enemy, particularly if they're killed and their bodies need to be treated with respect, and if they're wounded, then they have to be given medical treatment.
Harry served in Afghanistan. He killed 25 people. He wasn't bragging about it. It wouldn't matter if he was bragging about it. He was a soldier in Afghanistan. He was doing his goddamn job. We lost in Afghanistan. I understand this. I'm opposed to the Afghanistan occupation. 20-year occupation. We were able to do 20-year occupation. But yeah, it was all for naught, right? But Harry's got some street cred. You know how many MS-13 can brag about 25 bodies? How many MS-13 can brag about 25 bodies? The British press is so goddamn ridiculous. The British press is so goddamn ridiculous. They make up controversies where they don't even exist. Now, Thomas Hobbes, he hid out in Paris for 11 years during the English Civil War. When there was a civil war in England, you think Thomas Hobbes, the oligarch, the royalist, goddamn sycophant, he was part of the damn brigade, 1640 to 1651. He's going to go to Paris for 11 years, and then once the English Civil War is over, then he's going to come back. Prince Harry, the son of Princess Diana, is way braver than Thomas Hobbes is, who's a right-wing royalist defender. Also one of the originators of the Enlightenment. You had that one old-ass pervert, he said, Jeremy Clarkson, what'd he say about Meghan Markle? You guys are just talking about nothing. You guys are just making up shit. Do you have no lives? Does Jeremy Clarkson have no goddamn life whatsoever? He says that he just hates Meghan Markle so much, he just wants to send Meghan Markle out into the streets naked and throw a bunch of pig shit on her. You know, Meghan Markle is so goddamn pretty, she'd make pig shit work. She'd make it work. She'd be like Lady Godiva. Just reminds me of like Lady Godiva. And actually, Meghan Markle should not walk around naked. It'd be the great fappening all over again. It'll be that final tidal wave at the end of that one movie that had that big tidal wave. And did I see a picture with her with the baby? Was that her baby? She's pregnant? She had a baby? Is this? Do I not know what the hell is going on? I should have Googled this. Why am I asking these questions to you? And why do I care? Oh yeah, Princess Diana. Princess Diana was the black sheep of the family. She was treated like she wasn't going to be the mother of the next fucking king. That's how stupid this goddamn fucking monarchy is. How stupid. Hey, y'all want to have a democratic republic, or you just want that guy over there to rule over everybody? Who, Charles of Fife? You know, the original Charles of Fife was 5'4" tall. 5'4" tall. This is the English Civil War, Charles of Fife. The restoration of the monarchy is going to be Charles II. But the first Charles is going to get his head chopped off. 5'4". He was a glutton for melancholy, and he had a stammer. You know, which all those things are fine and dandy by themselves. But when you're a short, tiny man who's too scared of the world to speak. I can't really think that you're the alpha of alphas. I really can't think you're the king of kings or the god of gods. You're the god amongst men. You're the alpha and the omega and the gamma and the beta. Charles of Fife. 12,000 English Protestants were slaughtered by Irish Gaelic Catholics because of Charles of Fife. So before you start to go feel sad about this person getting his head chopped off, he killed 12,000 people. And they all attacked all at once. It's like the Pope just said, hey, Irish Gaelic Catholics, attack those English Protestants. Right away, Harry will never be king. Harry is never going to be king. And since Harry is never going to be king, Harry gets to be Jill Stein and Ralph Nader and Cynthia McKinney. Harry gets to speak the truth. Truth to power. Unlike government, Harry actually has to deliver. And actually, the government, everybody has to deliver. The post office, FedEx, UPS, the pizza place, the library, everybody has to deliver. And a lot of times the government doesn't deliver. He's delivering the truth. So if any of this interests you, you should pay attention. If it doesn't interest you, fast forward. Fast forward. Why would you sit there and just go on and on about they got into some sort of fight? William apologized, so it's all water under the bridge. Harry wearing a Nazi costume, both William and Kate said it would be funny. So it's not their fault, but they signed off on it. They approved of it. They deserve some percentage of the blame. I think we should try to think in percentages. Harry made the decision to wear the Nazi costume, so he gets 90% of the blame. He gets 90% of the blame. But you don't think having the approval of William and Kate, and now what they're supposed to do is encourage people to be their best? You think they actually said for him to do it so that way he would ruin his... I think all three are to blame. I think all three are to blame, and something does tell me that William and Kate might have put Harry up to it just to get the public to turn against him. Prince Harry ate mushrooms at Courtney Cox's house. Courtney Cox says she can't remember anything about Friends. Friends who? Friends? What's this Friends talk you talk of? Harry recreated his mother's accident to see if the speed could do it. To see if it's possible. Drove 65 miles per hour. The tunnel wasn't too scary as he had envisioned. He thought that maybe she faked her death, and that would call for him to come be with her. I mean, that's kind of sweet, but that's also just, he's missing his mother, and it probably would seem surreal. She was around, and then she wasn't around. And then she said that they were going to do it with a car wreck. A fucking violent car wreck? Jesus Christ. And then even Prince Harry doesn't have all the information regarding Diana's death. Who the fuck knows any goddamn thing? We don't know who killed JFK. He don't know who killed Diana. I like Prince Harry. He's quoting MLK. He's has to make it on his own. He's got to deliver. He's got to be able to pay his bills, not on the hawking. He's hawking titles. Titles don't mean shit over here. And he's Prince Harry because he's the son of goddamn Princess Diana. So even if they were not a part of the monarchy. And that's another thing. Prince Harry is in favor of the monarchy. So people are just acting like if you just slightly criticize the monarchy, the whole goddamn... Is it a house of cards? Is that all you got to do is just slightly criticize it, the house of cards, and then the whole thing comes crumbling down? Silence is compliance. That's what Prince Harry said. MLK, he's quoting MLK. Silence is compliance. And that's right. Silence isn't violence. Words and silence, those are not violence. Violence is violence. But silence is compliance. So Prince Harry says he's in favor of the damn monarchy, right? So, just in a different form. Really, the monarchy would do itself a service if they would listen to Prince Harry. You want to make sure that the monarchy is going to be useful to the rest of everybody else? Prince Harry says he's in favor of the monarchy, just in a different form. That's right. That's brilliant. He's trying to save the damn monarchy. So really, Charles and William should listen to him. I'm anti-royalist. I don't give a shit about the terrorists or the criminals or royalists. Royalists are just criminal terrorists, are they not? You know who's better than a king? A president. You know who's better than a king? A governor. You know who's better than a king? A goddamn mayor. Why? Because the mayor got 20 votes. You can't be mayor of this town unless you got somebody to vote for you. You know who voted for the king? Nobody. Not a goddamn person. And if you want a model family, look at Robert Kennedy. Look at Robert Kennedy and his family. That's a good model family right there. You need a model family? Why don't you create your own model family? What are you, goddamn, impressed by the welfare? Oh, look at them. They're on welfare. You like government welfare? You like the people that sit on government welfare forever and ever and ever and who offer absolutely nothing to? Well, then you should love the monarchy. Hobbes loved the monarchy. Hobbes was a huge royalist. But in spite of being such a huge right-wing, sovereign, conservative, big fucking King Charles guy, he helped with the Restoration. He wrote Leviathan and gave it to King Charles II. In spite of being a lover of the sovereign, a lover of the fucking criminal terrorist sovereign, Thomas Hobbes still couldn't allow them to break individual rights. You got a right to defend yourself. You have a right to be a part of a social contract with the government, and the people have a right to have a fair judge, have a fair judicial process. So in spite of the king saying he had all the power, Thomas Hobbes, being a lover of the king, said, you know what? There's some powers a sovereign doesn't have. You can't take away the individual person's right to defend themselves. And when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice, he gave up his spirit. At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth shook and the rock split. Matthew 27:50-51.